until I became, an authorized Opti-Coat installer. And when you do that, they send you the kit. And I was like, all right, well, guess what? If I paid for it, I'm going to try it. And we installed it on Tony's truck. And the second that we did that first panel, I was blown away with the gloss and the reflect. And it was Opti-Coat Pro. I was blown away with the gloss and the reflectivity and how smooth his paint looked. It was what year is your truck?
2024.
Yeah, 2024 F250 white. So like the hardest color to really get gloss. But then when we did the first cleaning on it, we were out doing a boat, poured down rain. His truck had a little bit of road grime on it. And I was like, hey, let's see how easy it actually is to clean this thing. It took us 10 minutes head to toe to clean that truck. And it looked just like the day that we installed the coating. And from there, I have been spreading the word, whether it's Ultra Shine or Opti-Coat Pro or Pro Plus. I got Pro Plus on my dually, and we cleaned up that and the trailer yesterday, and it took us 25 minutes to do a dually and a trailer. Like,
that's awesome.
How great that stuff is.
Hi, friends. Welcome to the Opti-Coat podcast, where we share stories from detailing professionals and highlight cutting-edge products, techniques, and tools that'll help your detailing to accelerate into the future. Wherever you're listening or watching this podcast, please follow, like, subscribe, and share with a friend. I hope you enjoy the conversation.
All right, welcome back to the podcast. Got Jacob and Tug here. We're excited to be hosting another great episode. We've got Steven and Tony, and they are joining us from Southwest Oklahoma with Skinner Detailing Solutions. How are you guys doing this morning?
Morning, fellas.
Good morning.
We're so glad that you carved out time. I know you guys got a busy schedule. And you guys are heading in about a couple of hours, or probably you're leaving about an hour and a half, head up to was it a Corvette event?
Indoor Corvette car show up in Oklahoma City. So we got a little bit of a drive ahead of us this morning.
Okay. And how did you get connected to, and what are you doing with that?
So how we got connected, everything is about opportunity, right? Whether it's presenting itself or you make the opportunity for yourself. But just had a chance encounter with a former coworker of mine who asked me to post a flyer for this car show on my page to get awareness for it. And I joked and was like, hey, how would you like it if a professional detailer company came up there, established, and provided, services to all the attendees? And next day he was like, yes, we want you to come. But basically we're gonna set up our mobile unit outside of the Oklahoma City Convention Center in downtown Oklahoma City. And should anybody in this indoor Corvette show want to utilize our services, so we'll do like a rinseless wash, we'll do touchless, we'll do some final white kind of services, but then we're also going to offer up at a discounted rate some of the ceramic coating options, both interior and exterior, for that kind of population that probably would benefit from it.
That is an awesome idea. I hope it goes amazingly today. I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Is it just today?
Now, so today's kind of the initial there was a meet and greet little situation today. Some of the folks will start putting their cars in the convention center, but tomorrow is the actual full-blown car show.
Okay, awesome. Great. Well, we love to start pretty much every podcast just by asking Steven, how in the world did you get into the world of detailing? And you told me that Tony's been with you since the get-go. Can you walk us through how you got started, how you got into this crazy world, and brought you to where you are now? And then let us know how you got connected to Optimum and Opti-Coat along the way.
Yeah. So I'll try to keep it short. But really, I started detailing a little over 10 years ago. And the reason was completely selfish. I would needs a relative term, new golf clubs, Jeep parts, you name it. And my financier, AKA my wife, would be like, no, we can't afford that right now. Like, no, you don't need to be dropping, this much money on this stuff right now. We've got other things that we need to take care of. I was like, okay, fine. I'll just go make some money. And so as a hobby, I would detail for my friends and my family, make a few $100 here and there until I got how much I needed to buy the thing. And then I'd shut down shop. And then every once in a while, I'd bring it back up. But at one point, it got to where I was doing it multiple days a week, weekends, because I enjoyed doing it and it was therapeutic in a way. But then how I got to it, like where we're at now with the insanity that this has become, was about a year ago. I was making my transition out of the Army, and I knew I wanted a backup plan just in case things didn't land on their feet. I needed a backup plan. And so this was honestly the panic button, which was, all right, I'll get this started. I know I'm good at it, but I'll get it started just in case I have to go without a job for a while. Well, one thing leads to another, and this thing has now become full-time employment for the last few months and has gone absolutely ludicrous. But then to your second question about Optimum, I actually found out about, it was Optimum Car Care at the time. The Opti-Coat, I don't think the precipice of it had come out yet, but I was in Kansas, and I went to a local detailing shop, and I was like, hey, I just need to get a few supplies, detailing a few cars this weekend. And the gentleman there was like, hey, don't be scared to use this tiny little bottle called Opti-Seal. You only need a few sprays per vehicle and it will last. I was like, yeah, okay, I'll try it. Yeah, sure. A few sprays. I'm used to having to deal with big old things of wax and, slathering all over.
Yeah.
But he's like, a few sprays and you'll be fine. I was like, okay, I'll try it and I'll see. And I was hooked. And so when I got this started and things took off again and the business went forward, I knew I was going to reach back out, and I did. I got a few things, and then, as everyone always says, one thing leads to another, and we've got a trailer just full of probably 80 to 85% Opti-Coat products inside of that trailer.
That's awesome. How did you get into, when did you start ceramic coating? Were you doing that over the past 10 years on and off, trying different things? And how did you jump into doing that with Opti-Coat?
So I was a ceramic hater for the longest time. I never offered it. Guys would come up to me, hey, I think I'm going to get my vehicle ceramic coated. You don't want a coating. It's bogus. There's no way they last that long. Hey, let me come out. I'll put some good quality sealants on there. They'll last you 6 to 8 months, make your car look phenomenal. And I held on to that.
Yep. Similar boat. I didn't understand the long-term ceramic coating, silicon carbide thing. And, I had heard other camps and just was kind of in that place for a while. And then, it just, especially when you get to experience it and like firsthand, like I love how you brought up the wash, because it's like, oh, it can stay clean,
Yes.
And it's funny, right before this started, Tug and I were kind of sharing back and forth a little bit about how we can get so into as business owners, we can get into the grind of, profit margin, scheduling, all of the technical things. And it's so important. And a huge reason why we do this podcast, to take that step back and be like, what a world of difference just having these amazing products in our arsenal. And the fact that we just genuinely just want to share it. Not, okay, how can I make, what can I add to my packages, to my detailing packages? Like, hey, you need this on your vehicle because, I've never experienced anything so amazing. So that's awesome that you're sharing that. So how's that as a solo shop, and Tug as a solo shop, always looking at different ways of involving people? And you said that Tony's been with you since pretty much day one. How did you decide to make that immediate jump and say, hey, I need your help right away, instead of saying, well, let me build this up for a while and see where that takes us? What's been the journey for you guys?
I guess you're asking kind of how Tony became part of this whole thing, I guess, is the question.
Yep. How did he become a part of it? Maybe how do you guys know each other? But then also, when you're looking at, well, I could just do it myself, or no, I can't do this myself. I wouldn't be able to do this on my own. What does that look like?
Tony and I were, our last duty state, we were stationed together. And funny how it all works out, right? I was his boss in the Army. We made a phenomenal team together. And then we kind of split ways for a bit. And then, actually tell the funny story of how it actually came to me.
All right. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So, left the Army, and we were kind of went, like I said, you said, our separate ways for a year?
It's close to,
close to a year. And one day, you go to the casino, And with his little one, he doesn't have too many opportunities to have a date night. So here I come walking through the casino, and I see him and his wife at a slot machine, and we start just talking, catching up, and he said he started detailing, and he's just like, hey, kind of started detailing on the side. It's picking up, and could really use an extra pair of hands. Well, I'm a workaholic, so I was like, oh, well, hit me up. Maybe I can help you out. I don't know much about car detailing, but I think, me in the military, I'm a fast learner, whatever. So we kind of drift off, and we start, talking business and catching up with old times, and kind of left his wife. So that turned out to be a little bad.
On the date night.
Date night.
Oh yeah, I was in the doghouse the rest of the night, but I gained him, basically, I say full time. We were part time in it every few days and the weekends.
Yeah, it just started. So we went through last summer. Went through the summer, word of mouth. We were kind of specializing in boats and RVs, and in this area, nobody really does boats and RVs, especially to the level that we do. So we started with that, and I really don't want to do cars because the market is saturated. When somebody gets on what we call the lot and grapevine, it's like the local community Facebook around here. When somebody car detailer, it just blows up with people. So we weren't gonna do cars. Well, winter came, so we did obviously not boats around, and less people with RVs, and so we did a couple of cars, and word of mouth spread, and we did some cars to kind of get us through the winter, and as we like to say, keep the lights on and pay the bills. And then I think once spring started picking up, all of a sudden word of mouth spread. We did a couple of ranchers that are real big around here, and they spread it to other ranchers. We just got done doing one a couple months ago that won us out every 2 months. It's called Stewart Ranch. It's the biggest and oldest ranch here in Oklahoma, and it spans, I think, north to south. It was like 14 miles long, and we did, I think, 10 of their vehicles, and just doing stuff like that, and that's really spread. And so now we have monthly clients. We were only doing Tuesday and Thursday. Every Tuesday and Thursday for the month got filled up. Now we're doing weekends. We just landed a contract doing a big 18-wheeler trucker around here. He's got 15 to 20 18-wheelers that he wants us to come out every other Sunday. So sitting word of mouth, and we just start snowballing, and all of a sudden it's getting to the point where we just hired another kid as well.
That's awesome, man. What a great story. Tug, do you have any thoughts on that?
So when you guys first popped on, my first thought was like, these guys are like kindred spirits. You know what I mean? Like I can always just tell that about people. But I think it just seems to be, I think it's definitely a blessing for you guys to be able to have known each other. Some time was, missed, and then you got connected again, because, one thing I think about in business is, oh man, I wish I had somebody that, and I've thought this, I've even told my wife, like connect with an old friend or somebody that I could get to know, like go into business with. How that would exactly work, I'm not opposed to having somebody, but I'm not looking for somebody else either. But I just think that's great that you guys can. It's one thing when you have victories by yourself, you can tell your wife she's going to get it. You know what I mean? But a guy friend that is like right there with you, I think, sharing that same experience, and then you could talk about it. And I just think that's great. The one thing I did want to ask, Stephen, because you had mentioned, I think, something about you started off part-time and then kind of went full-time, and it seemed like maybe there was you mentioned about a year ago. What made the difference that kind of took your business from, all right, this is great, this is cool, part-time, to all of a sudden to where it is now? What made that difference?
It's funny. I think we're all probably on a lot of the same Facebook pages for detailing. Mm-hmm. And outside of how much should I charge, the question you see the most is, how do I get more clients? And to Tony's point, yeah, we started when he and I first started, it was a couple cars a week if we were lucky. And then it seemed like almost overnight we're booked, and this is why we're doing it part-time. We were booked over a month out. So that's doing a vehicle every afternoon after work. Mm-hmm. And then 3 to 4 on Saturdays and Sundays, or boats, RVs, you name it. And I think what the biggest change was changing the mentality and the personality of the company. It's one thing if you show up, and this isn't trying to knock at anybody who's just starting out. Hopefully someone can glean from this, because this is how we started out.
Yeah.
We started out just showing up in random T-shirts, random shorts, whatever we could throw on at the time. We had random ball caps in the back of my SUV with no signage on it. There's a vast difference in trust and confidence of that person showing up, even more so if you just show up in matching T-shirts. The second that he and I got into matching T-shirts that had our company name on it, all of a sudden you got people coming up. Oh, you guys do detailing? Oh, wow, that's really nice. I put stickers on the SUV. Then people are taking pictures of the SUV when I'm out and about. So now that's getting out. And then to a greater extent, once I had the capital to be able to do it, and got out of the SUV and then got into a trailer, I invested, I'm going to go and say it, $1,000 to have the logo superimposed on the side of that trailer. It's a billboard.
Right.
And then we got vehicles to tow. Now I've got the logo and everything. So anywhere we go, granted, it's just T-shirts and it's hats, but we look the part. Right. There's a vast difference in confidence, and then the type of clientele you're going to get if you show up looking like this versus showing up in random street clothes. And I'm telling you that the more that we invested in ourselves to separate from the rest of the pack, all of a sudden our client base changed. The number of clients we're getting is changing. It's all about professionalism. And if you can secure yourself in that manner, things will shift almost immediately.
And one of the things that we thrive on as well, we tell people, is our customer service. Yeah. So like, we go to a client, and we tell people like, hey, we're only human. So, you do make mistakes. So if you find something that we miss, hey, call us within, a reasonable amount of time, and we'll come back out and we'll fix it. No big deal. And I think that says a lot. We did one customer, he said he paid like $600 or $650 for his truck, and there was some spots that they noticed they missed, and he called the guy, and the guy just never responded. Ghosted him. Yeah. So we had us come out, and he goes, hey, y'all are my new guys. So it's stuff like that. Or if, we also do stuff, if we quote somebody, we go and their vehicle's not as bad, we'll be like, hey man, I know we said 250, let's make it 200, and to us, it's more like building that relationship, and then keeping them as a future client, because we know that, hey, they'll keep us around. So we'll end up making up that, going down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. There's definitely a difference between saying, hey, it's 250, and they say, well, will you do 200? And they go, okay, 250. And then you say, actually, let's do 200. There's a total, different atmosphere, and whether you want to give discounts and do those kinds of promotions, that's totally up to you. But it definitely changes from, bartering into generosity. And so I was curious about, you're doing RVs, boats, cars, basically if it's got, wheels or a motor, they can bring it to you, or you can go to them. How has that changed in terms of what you offer as far as coatings and all that with boats and RVs? Is it how are you packaging it? Is it a different way of communicating it to these customers? Because a lot of people have boats, they have RVs. They're kind of used to like maybe a wash and wax, and like maybe they're not used to a 5-year coating. What's been the transition in your guys' verbiage, and what's been kind of the result from the customers?
So I'll be honest and transparent to say we've only been able to sell and install one marine coating since we've partnered with Opti-Coat. Now we've gone and we've done, kind of lost track on it, like automotive, because that ultra shine is killing it right now.
Yeah.
However, the difference in boats, RVs, and then your car, I will tell you, those who have invested into that realm of RVs and boats, 90% of the clients understand, all right, this is going to take a little bit more time, energy, and financial burden to maintain this and keep it looking the way that it is, or to keep it running optimally or looking optimally, right? So we price things a little bit differently. We have generalized packages for the automotive side, but when it comes to boats and RVs, we go off of footage, and that I think helps give the client a little bit better understanding, because I'm not just going to come out and be like, hey, we start at 200 for a boat. Well, if you got a 26-foot boat or you got an 18-foot boat, there's a vast difference in the amount of work it's going to take to get that thing.
Definitely.
You got a bass boat, which has nothing but carpet and 75 doggone cubbies in it, like a wakeboard boat. It's going to be very different than that Nortec we did that just has a cabin, right? So we try to do it off the footage, and then we have a standard detailing package, and we call it the wash and wax. The outside gets washed, and then we put a marine grade sealant on the outside. But the interior, where Tony basically lives, the floor gets washed, the floor gets waxed, all the cubbies get cleaned out, the seats get cleaned out, the helm. We polish up the bright work. If it has an outboard on it, we polish that, wax it. 9 times out of 10, that boat, even if it just came from the showroom, will look twice as good as it came off of that showroom floor. And it's all about the attention to detail we throw into it, the expertise that we have. We're not bringing McGuire's Car Care. We're not bringing name your automotive car care product and using it on your boat or your RV. We are using only marine and RV grade specific cleaners and sealants because they're designed to operate in that kind of environment. And with that is a little bit of elevated costs. But again, the second they see the boat, anybody sees a boat that's been cleaned by us, we're getting referrals, 6 ways to Sunday on it.
That's awesome. Great.
What are your thoughts, guys, on just talking about prices? Now, I know some guys will post prices, whether it be detailing coatings, and I know boats, you kind of, like you just said, you kind of can't really have like a starting price and prices for coat. What do you think is there pros or cons to choosing, like, because I know some guys post prices, some guys, contact me or call for a price. What do you think? What do you think the pros and cons are to either one?
Well, the pros and cons, I know we've had some people that ask us, like, hey, we went to the Ram dealership the other day, like, hey, you talking this, like some of it's over my head, can we get a good price sheet? And I know me and Steven here, and we talk all the time because we're on the beginner detailing page. And then I was looking the other day, and there were some people that were posting prices at little flyers, as you would say, asking people's opinions. And I was talking to him, and we were kind of discussing it, and it's I don't know if you want to say pro or con. I guess it goes
the way.
Yeah, so some people like the pros of it, but then when you look, I mean, man, you get prices that are, to me, all over the page. Like you had some people that were asking like for a basic thing, and people were like, oh, I was starting at a minimum 500. I looked at him, I'm like, how many people can afford 500 right off the bat? That's going to scare people off.
But where we're at, that's not happening.
And then you look at some people like, oh, $50 to $85, and say, okay, that's kind of on the lower end at the same time. So I think, like you said, I think it could go pro or con in my opinion. Some customers they wanted, like, we've had a few assets, so we did one up recently, which we'll do to our clients that we know are monthly or whatever, but you don't want to just give that necessarily to everybody at the same time. Kind of depends on, because we've had some that, like, to the point we were talking a second ago, you told them 200, and it could go the opposite way. Like, we go and we're like, holy cow, this is a lot more work, and then they'll be like, okay, let's go up by 100 or 150.
Right. Yeah, there seems like there's a lot of variables, and I've never been a mobile detailer. Mobile detailing in South Central PA used to be very minimal. And when there were mobile detailers, it's a pretty farmy area. You can just go 10 minutes down the road and, like, am I in West Virginia? Because, like, the hills and the roll, it's just very weird. And then you're flat and it looks like you're in the city, but it's a town of 15,000 people. Anyway, in years past, mobile detailing has still been, they try to take what they can do in a shop. And I'm not saying you can't do as good a job in a shop. You just don't have as much time is the issue outside of the shop, right? You can't leave the car and then have to come back, unless it's a boat. I get that. But like a car, you want to get it done and you want to move on. You don't want to come back. Whereas some of these guys are doing 3-day paint corrections. Don't get me started on that. But which would be ridiculous. So anyway, guys around here, they tried to take that long, oh man, I'm going to spend all this time. And they try to take that mobile detailing, and it doesn't work. Now, like, that mentality is gone. The coatings, it's a lot of the 20-year-olds from college. So they're really, and they're charging very low, and they're all over the place. There's 20 different people charging 20 different prices. And then you got me, who's been around since 2013. And then you got another shop trying to lower the prices. It could be, so I can understand. So what I'm trying to say is my area isn't necessarily all over the place. It's pretty, I guess, culturally speaking, in the last couple of years, a lot of that it's become more all over the place because of the new influx of the college kids home, charging on the super low end. So I've not dealt with that really. So I can understand you guys in an area where you got super low and you got super high. You could either scare somebody off. So it makes sense to kind of maybe not share the prices on the website, or just, and I know there's a reason why people do it. My prices they're right there. You know, I know there's a reason why people do it. I've not encountered that. So that's why I'm always curious about, like, the, you know, why somebody posts it and somebody doesn't. And it probably protects you a little bit, I would imagine.
Right. To an extent, Tug, but what I'll tell you, if I'm being completely honest, I didn't put pricing on there. I had it at one point, and it was the pin post on my Facebook page. It was right on the website, in your face. Hey, here's how much we charge.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody hit me up, hey, how much for this? How much for detail? How much for this? And the other? It's like, the pricing's right there. Like, so, but I took it down. Because then I'm like, okay, fine. If people don't want to read it and they don't, want to understand it, that's fine. Because then I'll do like we do, which is, okay, help me understand your vehicle. What is it you're trying to get after? What's the current condition? Okay, here's how much we're going to ballpark it.
Yeah.
But after doing that for almost 8 months now, I'll tell you, like, with how fast this thing has grown, like, I don't have a lot of time to be going back and forth every single time. Because if I'm doing that, well, I'm now out of the fight. He's in there by himself, vacuuming or scrubbing or whatever. So now, yes, we have generated a series of packages, which are we assess that they're pretty easy to understand. Hey, here's the essentials. Here's completely refreshing your vehicle. All right, for a little bit more, you want to go a little bit deeper, get a nicer shine, get a deeper clean on the inside, go a step above refreshing. Here's how much it's going to be. And then, hey, you want the best that we have to offer. And our best package is going to offer, it's going to be basically, hyper seal. It's going to be a glass coating and an interior coating. Like, you want your vehicle to be protected 6 ways to Sunday. Here it is. Let me know if you have any questions. But now, instead of having to type all this out, I got a graphic designer create a little sheet for me. I will be able to just send that in the chat. Hey, let me know if I can help. Let me know if I can assist. We're going to see if that streamlines processes, and if anything, maybe increases revenue just a little bit more, because now it's a little bit easier to understand.
Yeah, I think I used to do, and I don't think anybody's wrong for posting, for showing prices, or not packaging. And it's also not wrong to show, to not show prices in the package, right? Like, I used to have interior exterior together. Here's the price. I used to do it that way. And then I realized, just for me, and I could easily go back. I would just have the same total. I would just put them together. Interior, exterior, same total price. If you put them both together, if they're separate, so I could definitely go to do a package. I just separated it so people understand. But I think you're right. There's always a chunk of people who are just always going to ask, what are you doing? What's the process? How much might, what's the charge? You could literally have, a voice come out of the website when they click on your website, XYZ, but they're still gonna be like, wait, how much is it? They're still gonna call. So I think I often do think of going back to the putting them together. I hate, just for me personally, I'm not criticizing anybody else, but I dislike the, do you have any packages? When somebody asks me that, do you have any packages? I dislike it because it just, you might as well take out the word package and put discount. Not
Yes.
that I'm not, I do work with people. I do want to work with them. Sometimes though, I get a little burr under my saddle and I get annoyed because somebody walked in. It was a couple months ago. He came in and he was actually, in the shop. He wasn't standing in like the little waiting area. And he was like, "Hey, do you give multi-car discounts?" So like, it's just, I don't know why this annoys me so much. It probably shouldn't, but you've never been here before and you're already asking me for money back, you know what I mean? Or money off. And when he left, I knew he wasn't going to book. And I said, I generally don't give prices, but I can definitely maybe give you an extra service. He didn't book, probably because I had a scowl on my face. I don't know if I did or not. But when he left, like the next day, I thought, why didn't I tell him, yeah, you know what, book both vehicles. I'll take 10% off. I don't know why I didn't do that, but like, I was just in the moment. I was just kind of like, the business owner in me said, "Get out of my face. Please leave my shop."
Well, Tug, let's talk discounts, right? Because that's always the big thing is like, hey, I got somebody they got a bunch of cars, they discount, or like being here, we're literally right outside of Fort Sill. So we'll have people, hey, do you have military discount? You have first responder discount, teacher discount. And we don't. Wait, our price is our price. The price is the same for everybody.
Yeah.
However, the one subsection that we want to keep is our repeat clients.
Okay.
And we want to keep our clients for as long as possible because it's far less intensive to try to keep them on board than it is trying to onboard new clients in regard to the amount of time, expectations, relationship building. So what we do, we don't have an upfront discount, but you leave us a Google and Facebook review, 15% off your next service. If you refer us to somebody, they mention you by name, they book a service and they complete it, I'm giving you 15% off another service. So you refer 10 people, those 10 people come, that's 10 more services that we'll give you 15% off on. So I don't like to water down our services by saying we're going to discount it up front. And it might ruffle some feathers, and I understand that. However, I'm going to give you a deeper discount if you actually, trust us to take care of your whatever it is. But then you refer us. If you help promote me and you help, get the word out about us, I'm going to take care of you every single time.
That's a great mentality. And that's what I'm learning. I think Jacob's probably learning this. The more people we talk to, the more we go, oh man, imagine if like let's just say the last 5 people we had on the podcast, including you guys, would all start a detailing business. We would all have the individual abilities to come together
to make the ultimate detailing shop, right?
Yeah.
The front office, the back end, the knowledge, know-how,
Now here's where it would go sideways is the first person be like, "Hey man, I got the exterior, I'm gonna polish it." Oh, they want a 2-step paint. I hate that term. They want a 2-step whatever. Like, no, that's not how you do that. The cord needs to be over. Like we would all get in argue. We'd all get literally fist fights over the process. No. The bucket goes over there. Put that thing on a dolly. You can't carry, pick up the bucket.
Hey, Tug, you don't worry about that with me. Me and Tony, we'll just be out front making TikTok videos. There we go. We'll take care of the PR, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's one thing we wanted to bring up too. Is you make a lot of detailing videos that have nothing to do with detailing.
Bingo.
For your social media.
Yeah.
And talk about that for a little bit.
So I can't remember who I had the conversation with, but it was somebody else that entrepreneur. And they do a lot of social media. Well, in the detailing world, you go on to 90% of anybody's detailing Facebook page, Instagram, what have you. What is it? It's all befores and afters. It's the same stagnant pictures, but you got to do it, right? You got to be able to showcase your work. But after a while, no one's going to care because there's only so many before and afters of disaster details, of Tug's favorite, 2-step paint correction that you can do to garner more followers, right? And we're trying to get our name out there. Well, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm doom scrolling through Facebook and I see a company and they did a funny video, I'm like, okay, I like these guys. Let me see what they're about. And so for me, content is content. So even if it, and especially for those who know us personally, Tug, you said at the beginning, you're like, hey, you guys have a dynamic, I can tell. For those who know us and how we banter and how we smack talk each other all day, doing the TikTok videos and the stuff that has nothing to do with detailing, is simply to connect with people, but then also just to get our name out there, because who knows whose timeline these videos are coming across on. I had a detailer in North Oklahoma saw one of my videos, and he's like, hey, can we connect, man? I got questions. Like, I just came across your TikTok. It's hilarious. And then I got your Facebook page. He goes, you're killing boats right now. I want to know how to do that. And so that's how you also can make kind of more corporate connections. So,
and kind of a side on top of that as well is, we're out here. I don't know what the weather's like in the summer up there, but 110 out here, 105, we try to make it fun at the same time. So people are like, hey, bro, let's make this video. All right, let's take a little break and make something funny. So one is getting connected out there, but just to make people laugh and see that we're having a good time while we're doing what we love to do as well.
Yeah. I just sent in the chat, Steven, I don't have a lot of funny videos, and they're funny to me, but I just sent you one in the chat between you, me, and Jacob. I just a little short. I like the YouTube shorts.
Yeah.
So I make them, and it's just the video is me, and I'm talking about detailer safety, and I'm like walking around the car, and then basically I trip and fall down. So it's funny. Watch it after the podcast.
We will. I know the other part is my barometer on if a video is going to be funny. So I'll show my wife like one of the formats or something like that, and I'm like, hey, here's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to, have Tony do this or this, that, and the other. My wife, if she goes, that's stupid, I'm hitting that button immediately. Record, because it's gonna be popular. She's laughing at it. Oh, okay, I think it's funny. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
so I'm not doing that one.
When my wife rolls her eyes, I'm sending that thing.
Yeah,
funny because we was talking about doing one the other day where this they throw like an empty box at the person, and we're talking about, he goes, hey man, let's do that to you, but not gonna throw nothing heavy, just the ice chest.
Yeah, just a cooler. Just our cooler. Just throw a cooler at your face.
That's hilarious.
Dumb funny is the funniest.
It is. Yep.
Oh, it's great. I love it. And I think what I love about that is and you guys know it, obviously, is detailers. We can take ourselves so seriously,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make us necessarily better detailers. Maybe someone wants to hire you because you're like this reclusive artist that appears out of the woodwork and comes and, shines up your car like a diamond and then disappears. But most people like relatability. They like to get to know you. And we're in the service industry too. And so I love that you guys are really honing in on how, not so much the how, like Tug was talking about, like, we could get a bunch of great detailers that can get along, except for in the same room on the same car. But the why, like, why are you doing this? It's to serve your community. It's to serve, to help people keep their money in their pocket by protecting their vehicles, and like you said, boats and RVs are just, they can be, it's like setting a pile of cash on the floor and setting it on fire, like Dave Ramsey says.
Yep.
We like to tell them, protecting their investment. We spend all this money on a nice vehicle or nice boat, they're not cheap. So you tell them, like, hey, get a detail. And, of course, when you get some people that'll complain about the price, and we're like, well, look, this ain't a car wash, it's a car detail, the amount of work that goes into it. But again, it's protecting your investment,
Yeah, and who wants to clean their own car, let alone everybody else's?
Oh, exactly.
Only a bunch of weirdo nerds.
Yep, that's it.
It's funny because we'll get that from a lot of our customers. They'd be like, yeah, I can do it, but I just don't want to.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of them say.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we do that 4 times a week with dinner, eating out,
That's it.
so
That's it.
why not detailing?
Mhm.
Right.
So what are you guys excited about coming up next? I mean, you guys have obviously been, let me see. Is this backwards or is this forwards? I'm trying to do up and to the right. You guys are going up and to the right. And
It's all relative.
depending on if you have your mirror swapped around. What are you excited about next? Is it just continuing to get the word out about the things you're doing? I know you guys are builders, so you're like, we're getting the trailer, we're getting it epoxy coated, we're getting the the advertising on the side. We're connecting with these people. We got a new hire. The building is exciting. So what does this next year look like for building? Is it just building your client base? Is it building into a, do you have a shop like that you do a lot of work out of? Cause I hear a lot of mobile work. We go out, we do this fleet, we go out to these boats. What does that look like for you guys?
So first off, over the next year, we are scheduling right now with Don Partis a trip. We're gonna do the Hajj to Mecca, as it were, to Memphis, Tennessee. Okay, and we're gonna go there. So first off, anybody who watches, why Opti-Coat? If there's any reason, and I'm not just saying this because I'm an authorized. We're not on the next tier yet, right? Of the pyramid. We're still at the bottom rung. How many other detailer, like chemical companies, if you want to call them that, right? But or even just name your niche in the detailing industry, right? For people that provide stuff to detailers. How many companies can you call and get to talk to a manager every single day, 10 times a day? Don Partis probably hates me with the number of emails or texts or Facebook messages. Hey, Don, I messed up. Can you help me bail out? It's 9 o'clock at night, and he's getting onto the system and rearranging my order to ensure that I'm still able to take care of my clients last minute because he failed to plan ahead. Sometimes I text him, hey, I've been using O&R for a long time now, but I want to try this. What's your recommendation? Or, hey, I've got this coating. I got this client. He's doing this. What should I do? How many other clients, how many other companies are you going to do that and get an immediate answer while you're on job site versus these other chemical companies that are selling Opti-Coat tenfold more, but you're not getting that. Anyway, I digress. That's another great reason why Opti-Coat. Don Partis, if you watch this and you hear this, thank you. I owe you, but we're going to go see them hopefully in September so we can continue to get better about learning more about the product, how to use it, and get actually certified in that realm to do it. The next big shift for us, though, is we are, and not venturing away. Now, we're not doing a split, but we're also getting into commercial. So we're not just doing, the Honda Odysseys. We're not just doing the pickup trucks, boats, or RVs. We'll still have that. But like Tony was saying, we got our first contract now with a local trucking company to where we are fleet washing 2018 wheelers every other week.
Wow.
And so we're going to build a custom rig to be able to do that because our current trailer cannot, a 1500 PSI, 1.5 gallon a minute is not cleaning 18 wheelers that much.
Right.
I got to get the big boys up. So we're going to do that. And another thing, I guess, for anybody who's watching this and they're first starting off, and you guys have mentioned making connections. No, we don't have a shop. We're 100% doing this out of a trailer.
Yep.
However, we made friends with a client. He came out. We had us do his RV. He turned in from a client into a friend within a week. So where we were sending him random stuff in the middle of the night, videos or whatever. This gentleman has saved our bacon more times than we can ever count. He built all the plumbing and the electrical in that trailer because if he and I would have done it, it would have caught fire 30 seconds after we left, or like we would have had water gushing everywhere. He built a full-blown, he's got a circuit box in there. It runs off 110. I literally just take a cable, plug my generator into it. It runs everything. He has rigged other things in that trailer for us. He's a firefighter. He came off shift at 7:30 in the morning. We were heading to the lake about 30 minutes away from him. I had a tire blow out on the side of the road on that trailer. I had no way to fix it. So I immediately, he was the first person I could think of. He goes, hey, fellas, I just got off shift. Let me run to the house. Let me go grab this. I'm coming to you. That joker had been up for 46 hours, and he came and helped us out. And so he has a big shop on the outside of town. All we have to do is just say, hey, brother, would you mind if we use the overhang? Would you mind if we use inside? He goes, yep, I just freed and cleared it for you. Knock yourself out. We try to repeat him. He won't let us do it. So if you saw the post,
that was him.
Any other shop, if we wanted to go down to a local dealership or a local mechanic shop, they're probably going to charge you $100 an hour to use their bay. He charges us nothing. So what did we do? We put Ultra Shine on his pickup truck. We cleaned his RV. I put some leftover Pro on his RV's nose cone to keep that, fine. And then I had a little bit of other leftover coating. We put it side by side. Like, you got to take care of those people that take care of you.
And not just that, like, of course, we load up with water in a cooler. And the other day, we're like, hey, man, we've been using this thing for almost a year. And we're like, hey, the only thing you're missing is an ice machine. And he goes, there's an ice machine next to the sink, and we never saw it. So it's ice machine.
Now we got free ice.
Free ice.
Yeah.
And
Oh my gosh.
started building us a restroom on the backside. And I was joking with them, and I'm like, hey, man, when are you going to finish our restroom? Well, now he actually calls it our restroom, and he sped up the process, put an AC in there for us. And I mean, this guy's like a saint, So yeah, I mean, we kind of do have a shop, anytime we want it. He's like, hey, it's open. Help yourself.
Yeah.
So one thing to point out for any other guys running a shop, running a detailing business. I mean, you guys mentioned you met this guy as a client.
Yep.
You would have never met him otherwise.
No, we never would run into him.
And he's got his business.
And then now he's got a great resource. He's a great resource to you guys. So I think sometimes we get stuck thinking linearly with our business. Okay, I'm adding this product in. I'm working on this objective, which is great. You got to do it. But then the wealth comes through connections so often. And that's a great example of that.
No, we got one guy that he's one of our monthly clients. He does he's in the cattle business, and we that guy, another saint, we go way out. It was about 30 minutes, about 30 minutes. And we always like to ask when a client hears about us, we're like, hey, how did you hear about us? Was it stumble across Facebook? Whatever. I'm like, no, Derek Davis.
Derek Davis.
Hey, how'd
you hear about us? Derek Davis. How'd you hear about us? Derek Davis. How'd you hear about us? Derek Davis. And you want to know what's funny, Tug? Go back to your discount thing.
Yeah.
Anybody that gets referred to us from Derek Davis or JT Beauchamp or some of our other clients, there is no, hey, how much is this?
Right.
How much is it going to be? No, it's, I need you to come out and do it. Send me the bill.
Right.
You get within that right community, you take care of them, they take care of you. And that's how it is too with the ad community. And go back to your question, Jacob, about where's next. We may end up kind of cutting back a little bit on the residential detailing, as it were, because we go out to right now 3 different towns that are about an hour to an hour and a half away from us, small rural communities, and they'll have 4 or 5 ranches or farms out there, and they will converge on one location. We'll set up the truck, the trailer, multiple washing stations, multiple vacuums, and everything, and we deep clean all of their ranch vehicles for them, because not only those investments, that's how they do their work. So if we can provide preventative maintenance by getting all the mud, the muck, help them clean out, their cabs and everything, because that's safety. That's a productive work environment. We do that almost every month, 4 or 5 towns on the outside of, Lawton proper. And they take such good care of us, and they are beyond thrilled that we come out there to provide that level of service, because they don't have that. And then they have to clean it themselves. They don't have the tools necessary to do it like we do. And so that's something else that we're leaning very hard into. We'll actually be going to another town the 1st of August, and then back out the 8th of August to another town. So that's also kind of the way we're trending. Jacob, you mentioned that linear thing. Yep. All right, I need more clients. Okay, I need more clients. Okay, I need more clients. Okay, I need more clients.
Right.
There's these opportunities and these segues that we never saw coming, but they presented itself to us. And it's like, okay, not trying to say how can we exploit this, but like, hey, what can we do with this opportunity? How can we grow it to obviously benefit us? We're running a business. This is how we're I'm helping support his family, supporting my family. So there is that intrinsic side to it, but also like, what else could this lead to? What other possibilities are there?
And it's funny if you talk about the possibilities. So me and Steven, we love just detailing new stuff, right? Stuff that you don't do every day. I mean,
I know you're going with this. Yeah,
we've gone out and we detailed, actually, waxed it, polished it, a combine, big John Deere combine, and I'm sure you probably saw in our post, and I said people like, who gets a combine detailed? I'm like, I don't know, but it was cool. Me and him, we were having so much fun.
Had a blast.
For a second, I'm curious. How do you even price something like a combine?
I know. Luckily, we knew the owner, and we'd done some work with him before. And I was like, "Hey, boss, like, I'm not even sure where to price this." I was like, "But I venture to guess it's going to take us." And this is when we're still working full time at a W-2 paying job, and we would leave after work and then go work until sundown. I was like, "It's probably going to take us 2 days to take us one full afternoon to wash it, scrub it, get it down." and then at least another afternoon to polish out, all the plastic around the bin. And I was like, I'll be probably around this. I was like, but as a exploratory option, like, I'm not going to charge you the premium. I'm going to charge you in the low end because new to us. He bid on it. He's like, go for it. I trust you. He gave us a scissor lift. He gave us water. He gave everything. And we just went out there, and
it was like I think it was an old airport, so it was like an old hangar. But yeah, we had that scissor lift. So that a lot, because I don't know if that ladder would have got all the way up there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man.
And then I was curious too, if we can nerd out on how do you wash an 18-wheeler? Do you know yet?
Yeah, it is not how you do a standard car. These are industrial pieces of equipment. And so everything that you've been learned and taught about, like, oh, you don't use brushes. Oh, you don't use, harder chemicals. Like, oh, we got to use pH neutral, like this. And nope, vastly different, far different. And the cool part about it is a lot of these industrial cleaning that they request from us, they're not looking for a detail. And that's the one shift. If you've been used to, all right, I got to get in this nook and cranny. Okay, I need to get in this door jamb. Okay, I got to get into these vents. Okay, nope. They don't want that. They just want the dirt, the debris knocked down. They want the bugs removed. They want everything looking clean and sanitary for, number one, impressions. So that way, when other people see their trucks running down the road, ooh, wow, they take care of their equipment. That's probably a professional outfit.
Yeah,
I would want to hire. But also, it's preventative maintenance, because we're getting all the gunk underneath. A lot of these guys are running concrete, they're running asphalt. So we're trying to get a lot of that stuff off before it truly adheres to surfaces. But then tertiary, or third, is resale value. These companies are going through trucks every few years. You got to get your money back out of it best way you can. So the other side is pricing. A lot of people, when I tell them, hey, we're doing, for just gonna throw a number out there, and this isn't the real one, but like, hey, $125 to clean an 18-wheeler cab and a trailer. They're like, oh my God, that's terrible. Like, why are you doing that to yourself? I'm not doing the same level of work that I'm doing. Yes, if he and I were to fully detail an 18-wheeler, that'd be a half a day process, easy. And you're talking hundreds of dollars just for the cab alone. We're not doing that. We are putting heavy duty degreaser. We're scrubbing the wheels and tires. We're scrubbing the nasty stuff off. Then we're putting on truck soap. We're scrubbing. We're getting the nasty bugs off, everything like that. We're hosing it down, drying the windows, but then walking away and going on to the next one. It's all about efficiency and quantity. We do keep the quality side of it, because, of course, if we're not doing a good job, then the boss is going to fire us. But yeah, it is vastly different equipment. You can't run the same residential equipment, that little tiny little pressure washer that I got in the back of the trailer. You can't use that. It's a $20,000 heated power washer with all the right chemicals. Another great thing, I know Opti-Coat, don't take this the wrong way, but if there's some other advice I could give to other detailers, if you have a local chemical company that creates chemicals, use it. Take advantage of it. Because otherwise, I love Opti-Coat. I wish they would come out with some commercial grade degreasers and cleaners and solvents. But we teamed up with a local chemical company who's providing us the stuff that we need to do the commercial accounts. So
right.
I know
local connections are always so important.
I know Tug, you asked about our long term or for the next year, but kind of short term. I know we talked about some of that, but this weekend the Corvette show is. I'm fascinated, and one day I'm going to buy a Corvette. And been telling Steven since we started. So he goes, "Hey man, we got invited to a Corvette show with you," and I go, "Yep." So we're doing that. Well, also on a twofold. Steven grew up around 18-wheelers, so once we got this contract, he's like a kid in the candy store.
Yeah.
And I want to also another side business of trucking, and I want to eventually go up to an 18-wheeler one day. So, for both of us, it's like kind of the short term of the next year, but with the Corvette show, maybe do more in the future if this turns out to be good.
Yeah.
So with the fleet of 18-wheelers, I mean, we're like two kids in candy stores right now.
Awesome.
That's awesome. That's a good week. Congrats, guys.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, we really appreciate what you're offering to the Opti-Coat installer community and to your local community. We inspired by your posts. I've learned a lot this morning, and it's been great spending some time getting to know you guys. Do you guys have any last thoughts you want to leave us with?
No, I mean, I just think it all goes back to, I think that's the coolest part about being involved with Opti-Coat. And I've never been like a truly brand person to where you see it where, hey, what's the best chemical for this? It's like, oh, it's this one. Oh, it's this one. Oh, it's this one. I've never been that kind of person. However, everything that Opti-Coat uses or puts out, we love using it just because of, number one, ease of use. You don't really have to think too much about what you're using O&R. You can pretty much use it everywhere. Their waxes, the sealants, Opti-Seal, Hyperseal. A 1 year ceramic infused sealant, they literally, you just wipe on and just barely have to touch it to wipe it off. Like, how easy is that? And then the results that come with it. Also, O&R tastes lovely. That's a joke because when we're outside,
I've almost,
blowing,
yeah.
when we're spraying O&R, he knows, this joker knows the difference between O&R and Power Clean just based off of the taste. Because I'll spray and he'll be like, "Oh, buddy, is that blue? That's blue, right? Oh no, that's orange. Yeah, okay." But also, like we mentioned earlier, the level of service that they provide back to us.
Yeah,
it's intrinsically at the end of the day, we're helping support another business.
Yeah,
we can do their paycheck. We're helping, fund their retirements and everything. But they don't have to be as selfless as they are.
Right.
Not answering emails or texts at 9 o'clock at night to ensure that we're knowledgeable, we're set up, we're taken care of, and we can provide that level of service. Because they take such good care of us, de facto, I'm going to continue to rep them. I am tagging them almost every single day in all of our posts. Like, I want to get that name out there. Because then we have clients that are like, "Hey, thanks so much for taking care of my people. How do I keep mine that clean?" Hey, I'm going to get you set up. And I'm not getting any money for this, but I'm going to take you to Opti-Coat's website. I want you to buy these things for yourself. That way you can take care of your own vehicle too. So I love it.
I know Steven's already hit it, but if any like people that are getting new into the detailing, a few things that I would like to put out is, one, obviously Opti-Coat. I see a lot of new beginners in the beginner page that ask, "Hey, what kind of products do you guys use? Hey, give Opti-Coat a try." Happy with their products. Their ceramic coatings are phenomenal. One, like Steven said, the connections. Hey, reach out to people. That's how you get clientele, word of mouth, and just try to expand that. And then third will be, as we said, we're going to do the certification class. So if any new beginners want to do that, hey, hit up Opti-Coat and try to take advantage of their certification class to learn and expand on some of the products they offer.
Yeah. Well, one last thing I wanted to say, kind of going back to talking about being able to get a hold of Optimum. Optimum is a small group. There's not a lot of people there, which quality control. Dr. G has never strayed, only for a little bit, but he wasn't really able to at that time do anything about it. He has always stayed true to delivering the best product. He's never got wrapped up in, he took care of business when this stuff did start to go sideways, but he's never focused on having a face of the business. He's focused on the product, the quality, the R&D behind it. All of what he has made is originals. There's many copies of those things out there currently. That's fine. Other companies can make products too. They're never going to be on the same level. They can, they can say they are, and that's fine. But what Optimum has made is the original. Everybody has coatings because of Opti-Coat, because of Dr. G. And I was going to say this, and I think Don has definitely perpetuated that. I think more than any other rep that has come along. I will say this, because Steven, you said Don hates you, and I was going to say, don't take it personally. Don hates everyone. He just hates everyone. So
yeah.
It's not you.
Yeah.
He just hates everyone equally.
Don's from Massachusetts, and so I think especially people in the South can be like, "Whoa, he's really direct," and he's like, "That's just how he is." But you know exactly what he's thinking, and like you said, he's just immediately like, no, this is if I've asked him so many technical questions and he's just like straight to the point.
Yeah.
And what we're all trying to say lovingly is thank you, Don.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Don.
Yep.
Yes.
He loves the spotlight too. So
I'm sure he doesn't.
If I
All
could
right.
show you all the texts where he's told me, "What's wrong with you? Why are you doing that?" you would think like, "Oh man, this guy hates everyone." Well,
yeah.
he just he's great.
awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, guys, and we look forward to checking in with you in the near future and seeing how things are going and if things have slowed down. And I know they won't have. So we're excited to see how this is going to continue to branch out, what that looks like for you guys. And have a great trip this morning up. Have a good weekend of, I guess that's what they call it, the weekend. We're on Friday.
Yeah. Supposedly they call them weekends.
Is when
but,
we're recording this,
this
yeah.
weekend, working.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, we'll talk soon. And thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.